I'm going to write down the rule. So here's the radical. And to convert to rational form. The radical, which is mean the roots, the square root, the cubic root, but we're gonna learn the general rule. So if we have a number, let's say x, any number, 2, 4, 6, it doesn't matter, any number, -2, with exponent m, and there is a radical n. How are we going to convert this one to the rational? We're going to write down the number, and always is going to be m over n. Always n, m over n. So if you convert from radical to rational, you already have to know this is the exponent and this is the root n. And if there is number,
the root is going to be always on the bottom.
Always on the bottom. The root always on the bottom, and the number on the top is going to be the exponent. This is the rule. Let's do an example about that so you will learn how to use the rule. For example, let's start with this example. Convert to rational exponents. Convert to the rational exponents. So if we have the square root of x to the power 4, here's the first example. Again, if there is no number here, that's mean how much the number here?
1.
No, there is no one. There's no one root. Start with the square
Oh,
root.
sorry, 2.
2,
Sorry.
always. If there is no number, that's mean 2. So that's mean always there is 2 here. So this is the square root of x to the power 4. The square root of x to the power 4. Now I need to convert it to the rational exponents. So here is the x. Here is the exponent 4 over the root is 2. 4 divided by 2 is going to be 2. That means it's going to be x to the power 2. Because I can simplify 4 divided by 2 is going to be 2. That's it. So we convert from rational to the exponent, rational exponents to, from radical to rational, and we simplify it. Let's do another example. If you have a number, the square root of 2 to the power 4, the same thing. There is no number here, that means the number here is 2. So it's going to be 2, always the top, this one on the top, this one on the bottom. So it's going to be 2. 4 divided by 2 is going to be to the exponents 2. 2 to the exponents 2, that means 2 times 2 is going to be 4. Convert from radical to rational exponents, and we're going to simplify it. Here's another example. If you have now the cubic root of x to the power 12. This is radical form. I need to convert it to the rational form. So it's going to be, here's the number. This is on the top, 12 over 3. So it's going to be x, 12 divided by 3 is going to be 4. I simplify it to the x to the power 4. Here's another example. If we have, we use exactly the same rule every time. The fourth root to the 3 to the power 20. Convert this one to rational exponent. So here is the 3, 20 on the top, 4 on the bottom. So it's going to be 3. 20 divided by 4 is going to be 5. 3 to the power 5. How much is going to be 3 to the power 5? 3 to the power 4.
27.
How much is going to be?
27.
No, 3 to the power 5. That's mean 3 times 3 times 3, 5 times. How much is going to be? 3 to the power 4 is going to be 81. 3 to the power 5 is going to be 243. 243. That's mean 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. See? 3 to the power 5, that's mean 3 multiplied by itself 5 times is going to be 243. Let's do one more example. If you have z to the power 14, we need to write down the rational form. So it's going to be, here is the number, 14 on the top. And if there is no number here, that means it's 2. So it's going to be 14 over 2. Simplified is going to be z to the power 7. That's how we're going to convert from radical to rational. Next examples, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to convert from rational to radical.
Sir, when we, for example, it's 4 over 2, and then the next step is 2 to the exponent of 2. We have to left it like there, like that, or we have to put like the total?
Yeah, because sometimes that's good question. It depends about what they're going to ask you when you're doing the homework, online homework. So they're going to ask you convert from radical to rational. So that's mean only this step. If they ask you to simplify it, you have to move on, okay? 2, because you see there's a numbers here. I can simplify 4 over 2. It's going to be 2. And I can simplify 2 to the exponent 2. That means 2 times 2 is going to be 4. So it depends about what they're going to ask you. So you have to be careful what they're going to ask you when you're doing the homework. Sometimes they ask you just to convert. Sometimes they ask you to and simplify it. Okay? Like this one here. If they ask you just to convert this one here. Sometimes when you plug in this answer, they're going to ask you, it's not wrong. They're going to ask you simplify it. So you have to simplify it like 3 to the power 5. You have to keep moving on to 243. Okay?
Okay.
So it depends about what they're going to ask you. Convert to radical form. So here is the example. If we have 289 to the exponent 1 over 2. You see, this is rational form. We're going to convert to radical form. Always the number here, it's m, which is here, and the number on the bottom is going to be the root. So the first thing I'm going to do is write down the root. I have 2, so that means the 2 is going to be goes here, which is the square root of 2. If you want to write down, if you don't want to write down, it's fine. There is the number to the exponent 1. Then they ask you, if they ask you to simplify it if possible, go ahead, use the calculator. What's the square root of 289? Someone tell me. What's the square root of 289? Is there a square root for 289?
$17.
17, that's it. Perfect.
Sir, this is rational to radical?
This is rational to radical. That means I have this one, this form, and I have to convert to the radical. And simplify it is going to be 17. Okay? Let's do another example. This one. Negative 81 to the half. This is rational. So I'm going to write down the radical form. The 2 goes here. Here's the number, negative 81. The 2 goes here or here?
The 2 goes
here or here? Go back to the form.
On the left.
On the left here. Now, who gonna tell me how much the square root of negative 81? I'm gonna give you extra point on the test.
Nine I.
9i. Perfect. Who said 9i?
Me, Larissa.
Okay, I'm gonna give you extra point. Because you remember when we have even root, the negative sign goes out as an I. The square root of 81 is going to be 9. So it's going to be 9i. Perfect. So 9i is the square root. So this is the rational form. This is the radical form. And we simplify it to the 9i because we have the root for 81 and the negative sign is going to be goes as an I. Let's do another example. If we have 27 to the power 1/3. So it's going to be what? Here is the root. How much I'm going to write down here?
The 27.
Here, 27. What about here?
The 3 is gonna be on the left, and the one is gonna be
one
the
here is
corner.
not going to affect anything. Yeah. So how much is going to be the cubic root of 27?
3.
3. That's it. Let's do another example. If we have m n to the power 1/7, it's going to be equal. Here is the radical. How much I'm going to write down here?
M and N.
M and N. How much I'm going to write down here?
7.
7. And here?
1.
1. That's it. Because you can simplify it. So just leave it like this. Let's do another example. If you have m to the power 2/3. So here is the radical. How much I'm going to write down here?
3. Oh, M. Sorry, M.
M. Here.
It's gonna be 2.
2. Here.
3.
3. That's it, because you can simplify it. Now let's do another example. What about if you have 16 to the power 5/4? So here is the radical. How much I'm going to write down here?
16.
16. Here,
5.
5. Here,
4.
4. Now, how much the fourth root of 16 to the power 5? Go ahead, use the calculator.
$32.
32, perfect. Let's do another example. 27. Write down these. So before, I need to use another page. Here.
Oh, 4.
4. And here.
3.
3. Now go ahead, simplify it.
It will be 81.
81. Now, 2 more examples, and we're gonna finish this section. These are super important examples. Now, tell me, I need to work on this one. We're gonna do the same thing. Negative 125 to the exponent 2/3. So we're gonna do the same thing. Here is negative 125. How much I have to put parentheses? How much I'm going to write down here because there is negative sign. Here, how much?
3. I mean 2.
2. And here, 3.
So when we put on the calculator the negative 125, it will be in parentheses?
Yes, because you know why? Because the square for everything here inside. Okay, that's a good question. So what about, I'm going to give you the same thing. Let's work on negative 125. Not now, after this example. So, because when you see the parentheses, the exponents here for everything here inside the parentheses, okay? That means the squared is going to be inside, so we have to put parentheses because the squared is going to be for the negative sign or for 125. Now go ahead, use the calculator, and when you use the calculator, don't forget to put the parentheses inside the radical.
$25.
25. It's negative 25 or just 25? It's just 25 here. If you plug in exactly the same thing here, it's going to be 25. What about the second one? The second one, you see the exponents here only for this number here, not for the negative sign. So you're going to put the negative sign and you're going to put the radical here. You see the negative sign is still out. Now I'm going to write down here inside 125. The exponent is 2 and the radical is 3. You see the negative sign is still outside, so I'm going to write down the negative sign here. What's the cubic root for 125 squared? It's going to be also 25.
8.54.
No, do it again.
Oh, it's 125.
It's how much?
Mm,
125 or
it's 25.
25? But check the difference, because there is negative sign outside, there's negative sign, there is negative sign, so the result is going to be negative 25. Okay. The last example, if you have 6/4 over 27 to the exponents 4/3. Don't confuse yourself. This is a number here, okay? This is a number here. So I'm going to convert this one to the radical form. So here is the radical form. So the number I'm going to write down is 64/27. Put parentheses. How much I'm going to write down here?
4.
4. Here,
3.
3. If you're using the calculator, it's going to be decimal number, which is wrong, because we need to write down a number, not decimal number, okay? So I have to do steps here. Check what I'm going to do. I'm going to distribute the exponents here on the top and on the bottom by using exponents rule. So I'm going to say this is the cubic root of, this is very important, of 64 cube over 27 cube. You see what I did? Sorry, not a cube, 4 to the power 4 to the power 4. So I distribute the exponents on the top and on the bottom. Next step, I'm going to distribute the radical. So it's going to be the cubic root of 64 to the power 4 over the cubic root of 27 to the power 4. Now tell me, go ahead and plug in just this part in the calculator, how much the result, then go back, plug in this part in the calculator and tell me the result. So when you have like this, you have to do these steps. This is really important. And when 100%, you will get like this example when you do the online homework. So how much the cubic root of 64 to the power 4? Did you get it? Just this part, how much the cubic root for 64 to the power 4? Did you get 256?
I got 59.1.
No, that means there's something wrong because you don't have to get decimal, remember?
Yes, but if I type it on the calculator, it is 64 to the root of 4 divided by.
No, it's going to be wrong. That's why you have to do these steps. Because you can't plug in this one in the calculator. Remember I told you? Because you're going to get decimal number and you can't find the root for the decimal number. So you have to distribute the 4 to the both sides, to the top and the bottom. Then you're going to distribute the root on the top and the root on the bottom. Now you can use the calculator to find this part and then use the calculator to find the bottom part. Okay?
Okay.
So how much is going to be on this part here?
On the first part, it's 256.
256, yes.
And then the second part.
So always you have to do these steps when you have
And
like this one,
on the bottom, it's 81.
81. 81. That's it. This is the result. So always when you have a fraction like this one, distribute the exponents. You write down the radical form. Then distribute the exponent on the top and on the bottom. You see the first step. Then you're going to distribute the radical on the top and on the bottom. Go ahead, use the calculator to find how much the root for this one. Use the calculator to find how much the cubic root for 27 to the power 4. You see, it's not a decimal number. This is going to be the result.